sense, logic, and truth. I am following this channel and given this video a thumbs up. The link to this video is in the description box below. Please follow Murtech on Rumble. Give me a thumbs up and share this information far and wide. This great news update will begin momentarily. Thank you and may God bless.
Now, back onto the main thing of the day, by the way, the pay to leave. So the new policy that Trump is discussing, floating, is that Donald Trump will pay $1,000 to illegal immigrants to leave the country. And some people are saying this is an outrage. You know, the law is the law. You don't pay the criminals and reward them for their criminality. This is reported in the Post-Millennial. At least I picked this one because I like them. Post-Millennial, Trump admitted to pay illegal immigrants $1,000 cover flights if they self-deport. Quoting the president, if you are here illegally, self-deportation is the best, safest, and most cost-effective way to leave the United States to avoid arrest. Department of Homeland Security will announce on Monday that it will begin paying for commercial flights for self-deporting illegal aliens from the United States. They will also pay the aliens $1,000 once they are confirmed to have left the country, according to Fox News. Now, there are so many reasons why this is a great idea. The first one, I analogize it to, once upon a time, I made this mistake and I'll never make this mistake again, where I said, I always assumed it's cheaper to execute a convicted murderer or a convicted criminal than it is to keep them in prison for life. And someone said, no, Viva, actually, one of the arguments, I should say, in support of the death penalty is that it would be intuitively cheaper, you think, to kill somebody, to execute them, than to house them in a prison for the rest of their lives, which could be, I don't know, depending on the age, 20 to 60 years. And others said, actually, Viva, it's not. It's cheaper to incarcerate someone for the rest of their lives. There's an annual cap to that. But when you put someone on death row, the costs of litigating, all things included, it's actually cheaper not to execute. So if you want to support the death penalty, that's not your best argument. The argument here is going to be, it's going to be cheaper to do it this way than the other way. And then the question is, I don't think people know just how cheap. And I'm not sure that this article mentions a factor also to consider. Illegal aliens, or even legal aliens, but illegal aliens in this context, who earn money and then send money to families in countries of origin, that has an immense cost for the economy. I don't know if they're going to mention here, but let's just talk about this. DHS says that it will save taxpayers 70%, as it currently costs DHS on average $17,000 to arrest, detain, and deport someone from the U.S., while paying for self-removal flights, and the stipend is projected to cost just $4,500, will be safe for ICE and preserve their resources, per Fox News' Bill Malugin. Not just that, safer. They won't tangentially catch other people who they may not, even if you're illegal, you might not want to be responsible for other illegals getting deported, to the extent that they offer you the possibility of coming back legally. If you self-deport, you then preserve your own rights if you do, in fact, want to come back at a later date following the rules, which are lengthy and costly. And I can tell you this from experience. So the Fox News tweet, in order to receive the compensation, the illegal immigrants must register on the CBP, Custom Border Patrol Home app, and file a notice to leave the U.S. In a statement to Fox, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said, if you are here illegally, self-deportation is the best, safest, most cost-effective yet. DHS is now offering illegal aliens financial travel assistance and a stipend to return to their home country through the Custom Border Patrol Home app. This is the safest option for our law enforcement, aliens, and is a 70% savings for U.S. taxpayer. Download the app today and self-deport. Noem has made repeated warnings to illegal immigrants within the United States, even going so far as to tour the CCOT El Salvador's terrorism confinement center. President Trump and I have a clear message to criminal illegal aliens. Leave now. If you do not leave, we will hunt you down, arrest you, and you could end up in this El Salvadorian prison. According to DHS, quote, Trump administration has arrested over 158,000 illegal aliens in 2025 alone, including more than 600 members of the Tren de Aragua, the Train of Aragua, gang member designated now terrorist organization. Under President Trump, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, is targeting the worst of the worst. 75% of their arrests are criminal illegal aliens with convictions or pending charges. You know, when I was evaluating Trump's first 100 days, and I felt a little bad because I gave him a C, and then I listened to Barnes's analysis, and I think Barnes is right that it's probably closer to an A, if only for the progress made on curbing the influx of illegal aliens. 158,000. You know how many millions Clinton and Obama deported without the slightest pushback from the court system? The answer is all of them. They've done an amazing thing. The program, I don't know if there's anybody out there who could reasonably, plausibly disagree with it. The only question is going to be projected compliance. What does the chat think the projected compliance with that is going to be. I want to see if Grok is going to be able to answer this. Conclusion, compliance with it's expected to be low due to distrust. Well, it's expected to be low because I think they can get away with it or take their chances. Well, I would think that 5% would be a reasonable amount of compliance, a projected amount. What do you, that encrypted? You think that's too optimistic? You get a 68 pen that says Dems will probably pay them $2,000 to stay. It's very interesting. Actually, you say that, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Like, this will increase the salary that we're paying to the illegals, such as Judge Joel Cano, who had hired an illegal, housed the illegal so that the illegal could do house chores for his wife. He's now currently arrested. 10% I think would be way too much, Kelman. Let's see what Locals has to say. As the freebies dry up, it'll look more attractive, says Really Red Ginger. You're right. Svihansis says even if it's 0.05%, if they are all concentrated in one area, makes a big difference. Then just move to another location, step by step, you flip them all. It's a very, very financially sound, logistically sound, and legally sound, because it allows you to also bypass the judicial activist judges that you are seeing now side with the illegals, side with the, what's his face, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. For those who are in our Locals community, we watched that video together. The video of Kilmar Abrego Garcia driving a van that had been modified to add an extra seat, an extra row in it. And he had 8 people in his van, and the cops who pulled him over, one of them didn't know what was going on. The other cop says, you understand what's going on here, right? Like,
you know what you got here, right? He's hauling these people for money. You got an ass hauler is what he's doing. But sometimes they commingle dope. No, but there's 8 people in there.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that. They put an extra row of seats in there.
Yeah. So he's getting paid to haul these people, probably to Maryland, I would say, if I had my guess.
He said they all work together. That's what he's telling me. But he's the only one that knows that.
So let me ask you this. They don't have any luggage in there, right? And if you get them out, they're going to have a toothpaste and they're going to have toothbrushes in their pockets. I guarantee it.
He's got $1,400 cash in his pocket in an envelope.
This guy's transporting these illegals for money. This is who the Democrats and the court systems are protecting. You get any amount of self-deportation because of the financial. First of all, some people might not want to be in America anymore under the Trump administration. We personally knew people who came to Canada, I won't mention the country, although I think I've mentioned it before, who left and went back to their home country because they no longer liked it in Canada, because I think it got even too authoritarian for them. They had come from an authoritarian country and they left Canada. So the idea that there might be someone who just want to get out anyhow, and here's $1,000, go back to our countries because it wasn't that bad to begin with. You save money, you avoid risk, and you bypass the judicial activism of the courts. And we'll see within a month or two, I'm sure they're going to come up with updated stats to see how many comply voluntarily, because they will have stats for it. And that's that.
So in the video,